In senior year of high school, Sophia Tanner, my childhood rival and deskmate, fed me a cookie. My face flushed after I ate it. Then she giggled and said she'd picked it up off the floor. I told her it didn't matter because she was the one who fed it to me. As the afternoon sun streamed into the classroom, I saw her face turn red too. That's because I slapped it. Sophia Tanner, heiress, super rich, the kind of family with never-ending money. And me, Cole Stevens? Well, my family was doing okay. Thanks to my dad, we were riding the coattails of her family's power, so we were comfortable. But compared to the Tanner empire, we were small time. As for me and her, you could call us childhood frenemies. We couldn't stand the sight of each other, but we missed each other when we were apart. The reason we became childhood frenemies has everything to do with my dad. When he was young, he ran with a rough crowd, all fists and no future. His life should have started hard and ended in tragedy. But I guess he saved the world in a past life, because he somehow accidentally saved Sophia Tanner's father. After that, his life went vertical. He maxed out his stats in sycophancy, not only landing a beautiful, highly educated wife, but also producing a particularly brilliant son, me. That's the real reason Sophia and I were even in the same orbit. As for why we became frenemies, that's also my dad's fault. I'm a year older than Sophia, but my dad held me back a year just so I could be in her class. Every single day, he'd drone on, play with her, take care of her, protect her, try to be her best friend. My ears were calloused from hearing it, but I never went against his wishes. The problem was Sophia was spoiled, stubborn, and loved to boss me around. Even though I was older, I was basically her lackey. Wasn't it enough that my dad was the Tanner's #1 suck-up? I mean, Mr. Tanner doted on him too, so it was a two-way street. But his daughter wasn't Mr. Tanner. Sucking up to her was exhausting. Oh, my dad. He's a piece of work. Anyway, back to it. The real trigger for our rivalry was the name my dad gave me, Cole Stevens. He was a huge fan of this old war hero, General Stevens, who apparently had 3 wives, and the third one was some kind of legendary badass. So he named me Cole Stevens. Fine. Nothing wrong with that. Who doesn't have an idol? Naming your kid after them is pretty normal. The problem started in 5th grade during the school health screenings. Everyone else had been checked, but they hadn't called my name. It was only then that I realized one of the nurses had been calling out, "Is Cole Slaw here? Has anyone seen Cole Slaw?" Damn it, she was calling me. And just like that, the nickname Coleslaw stuck with me all the way through high school. That's when I started to rebel against everything my dad said. He told me to take care of Sophia, so I bullied her every day. He told me to be her best friend, so I became her sworn enemy. The kind of enemy our parents couldn't do a thing about. But Sophia was a princess, raised to get whatever she wanted. She wasn't about to take my crap. Plus, her allowance was insane. She had a whole pack of sycophants who'd trade their kneecaps for cash, all of them acting like her little minions, cooking up schemes to get back at me. Honestly, it was hard to compete with a player who just kept buying the upgrades. Later, I regretted it. How could a scrappy startup compete with a Silicon Valley giant? But the arrow had already left the bow. There was no turning back. What about my pride? The weirdest part was, the more we fought, the closer we got, like we were glued together. It was strange. Did she really enjoy fighting with me that much? But then again, it made sense. At home, at school, everyone catered to her, spoiled her. I was the only one who would slap her, kick her, argue with her, and prank her. What a twisted fate. By freshman year, I'd figured out. My little slingshot was never going to beat her fully armed battleship. The only place I could stage a final, epic counterattack was academics. A grand finale to our school-age rivalry. After graduation, we'd go our separate ways. The world would be my oyster, and I wouldn't have to worry about her getting revenge. So, I made a bet with her on who would get a better SAT score. The prize was a 6-figure sports car. I had just gotten my license and was dying for a nice ride. I've been dreaming about this car for ages, but my cheapskate dad would never buy it for me, and even if he did, he wouldn't let me drive it. So I set my sights on her. I was afraid she wouldn't be able to authorize that kind of money, so I deliberately let her family know about our bet. Mr. Tanner, being the cool guy he is, fully supported it. So I spent the next 3 years sandbagging while secretly studying like a maniac. On every practice test, I'd manipulate my score to be just a little bit lower than hers. It kept her happy but nervous for 3 whole years. It also kept my dad depressed for 3 years. After the official scores were released, I saw Sophia's Instagram post. "Thank you to all my teachers for your incredible guidance. I couldn't have gotten this 1450 without you." Huh, like she was buying credits for a video game. I immediately made my own post. I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I missed a question the teacher went over 10 times. I attached a screenshot of a text exchange. Me, Mr. Davison, got my score. 1590. Lost 10 points on the verbal section. Mr. Davison, that's a shame, Cole. You were so close to a perfect score. Me, I messed up the last vocabulary question. Mr. Davison, I know the one. We went over that word so many times. You shouldn't have missed it. Me, careless mistake. Followed by a row of crying emojis. I mentally counted to 30. When I checked her Instagram again, her post was gone. Huh, you want to fight me? I just beat you by 140 points. Whatever. She lost, and she lost badly. I beat her by an entire section's worth of points. The mayor even came to our house to give me a plaque for the highest SAT score in the state. While she was crying her eyes out, I was happily on my way to the DMV. I couldn't stop thinking about the first day of college, pulling up in a six-figure sports car, cruising past all the other students without leaving a speck of dust behind. I was buzzing with excitement. After I got my license, Mr. Tanner gave me a $1 million custom Lamborghini Aventador. Holy crap. That one car was worth more than my family's entire net worth. Mr. Tanner was generous. My dad had saved his life, and my dad was a world-class suck-up, so Mr. Tanner really liked him. Our families were extremely close. I called her parents aunt and uncle, and she called mine the same. Holidays, birthdays, big events, we were always at their dinner table. So, as my uncle, him giving me a lumbo didn't create too much of a psychological burden. After a long, agonizing wait of nearly a month, my Aventador finally arrived. I was ecstatic. I spent the day driving it one-handed, taking Sophia all over town for a photo shoot. She'd been pissed for 2 months, but I guess she was finally over it. I took a selfie with the lumbo and posted it. I asked the wind why it roared. It said it was the roar of my engine. I asked my lumbo why it roared. It said the beautiful girls at Harvard were waiting for me. I looked at my post and grinned. Facing the ocean, I yelled, "If your heart has a destination, why fear the long and winding road?" Cole Stevens, you deserve all the beautiful things in this world. Sophia seemed moved for a second, but then she remembered something. She pulled out her phone, saw my post, and suddenly asked, "You gonna drive this car to school?" Yeah. It's over 1,000 miles. Are you insane? I'll have it shipped on a carrier." She looked at me, a thoughtful expression on her face. "Don't tell me you're going through all this trouble just to pick up girls at college? What else?" Sophia glanced at me and ordered, "Take me home." Damn it, Sophia, why do you have to be such a buzzkill? I wasn't even close to being done driving this thing. She opened the door, but didn't get in right away. Instead, she said, "When a dream is too bright, the darkness is that much deeper when it shatters." What's that supposed to mean? You're the one who said the road is long and winding. You should be prepared for your beautiful dream to fall apart. This girl was such a downer. It was just a metaphor. If you don't like it, just humor me. Did you have to be so blunt? I started the car and didn't say another word to her the whole way back. Honestly, as a decent human being, I really didn't want to bully her anymore. After all, without her, I wouldn't have my beloved Aventador. She was a great sister figure. Her only flaws were her low IQ and her even lower emotional intelligence. Smack! Sophia suddenly slapped the back of my head. "Shit, are you trying to get us killed? I'm driving here." I roared. "That's what you get for bad-mouthing me in your head." I subconsciously shot a guilty look at her. She just raised an eyebrow. Ugh, maybe I didn't want this sister figure after all. The next morning, I woke up and my car keys were gone. The car was gone too, and to top it all off, my mom and dad were gone. Every time I called, they were either busy or in a meeting. I went to the Tanner's house, but they weren't there either. It wasn't until the evening of the second day that my parents finally came home. I was furious. I hate it when people touch my stuff. My dad slung his tattooed arm over my shoulder. "Cole, my boy," he began, his voice dripping with fake sincerity. "Listen to your old man. You're too young. You can't handle this car." "Dad, it's my car." "What do you mean I can't handle it? Do I not know how to use the gas pedal? Or the brake?" I ducked out from under his arm, completely unconvinced. "Cole, what I mean is, you're young. You don't have any life experience. This car will blind you. When you get out into the real world, you won't be able to see things clearly." "Dad, whether I can see the world clearly in the future, I don't know. But I can see you very clearly right now. You just want to joyride in my car. What are you talking about?" "Huh? Is that the kind of person you think I am? Do I need to borrow my son's car? If I want to drive one, I can't just buy my own." "Yes, you are. Don't think I don't know what you two were doing yesterday and today. You were just cruising around in my car, showing it off everywhere." My mom, hearing this, looked embarrassed and quickly turned to walk away. Huh, I was just bluffing, trying to wrongly accuse them to get the upper hand. Now, seeing my mom's reaction, Damn it, I was right. Joyriding in my car was one thing, but they didn't even take me with them. Why do you have to say it like that? Would a father lie to his son? I'm just afraid you don't have the experience. With a car that nice, you'll only attract sycophants. What if you develop a poor judge of character? Listen to me. You're a genius, I don't deny that, but son, your emotional intelligence is seriously lacking. Don't worry, I'll find a professional storage facility for you. Keep it safe. When you graduate college, I'll get it back to you, good as new. Seeing me staring at my mom's retreating back, my dad quickly pulled me around to continue his lecture. I'll believe that when pigs fly. You're a sneaky old man. He's always saying I have no emotional intelligence. If I had no emotional intelligence, could I have written an essay that only lost 10 points on the SAT? I impatiently pressed him. Just give me a straight answer. I'm leaving in 2 days. Are you giving me the car back or not? No, absolutely not. The experts say you're too young. You can't handle it. If you drive that to campus with your family so far away, people with bad intentions will flock to you. What if someone tries to rob you for your money or kidnap you? So, for you right now, this car is a disaster. My dad shook his head, resolute. Dad, are you kidding me? You, a guy who came up on the streets, when did you start listening to experts? What's that supposed to mean? Your dad is now the vice president of the local arts council and a board member for the community theater guild. I'm a man of culture. Why are you bringing up my past? A hero's origins don't matter. Don't you get it? Besides, Sophia brought in a famous education expert from TV, and he told me very clearly that boys need to be raised with hardship. Anyway, you can't have the car. And for your college living expenses, Sophia will send you $1,000 a month. If it's not enough, don't come to me. Go to Sophia. Damn it. Now I understood. So when she said the road would be long and winding, she was talking about herself. $1,000 a month? That's like $30 a day. Dad, what can I do with $30? Do I not need to eat? If my classmates invite me out, I can't even afford to split the bill. Are you serious? The expert said. Dad, don't give me that expert said crap. Why don't you just say Sophia Tanner said it? I'm 19 years old, and you're still trying to raise me with hardship? You tell me which expert said that, and we'll see if I don't go and have a word with him. I could understand why Sophia always had to pour cold water on me whenever I was happiest. I'd already sworn I wouldn't bully her anymore. Fine, 500 more. I'll go talk to Sophia and get you another 500. But if you go over budget, you go to her. The money's with her. Her school is only 2 miles from yours. It's not far. As long as it's a reasonable expense, she'll give it to you, okay? Lapdog. I stormed off, muttering under my breath. Sophia, you winding road, just you wait. I can't believe she'd pull a stunt like this. Taking the car was a small thing, but the fact that I'd have to get my money from her for the next 4 years. That was the real tragedy. Ugh. My dad was the Tanner family's most loyal sycophant. Now that the young mistress had spoken, my dad would enforce her orders to the letter. Arguing any further was pointless. All that stuff about art and musicals was just because Mr. Tanner liked them. My dad was just catering to his tastes. He complained about it at home all the time. Though, to be fair for a guy with an elementary school education, he'd actually gotten pretty good at calligraphy. His handwriting was surprisingly impressive. Being a sycophant isn't as easy as it looks. It takes a certain kind of relentless perseverance. You little bastard, you dare call me a lapdog. A whooshing sound followed, and a slipper came flying through the air. I dodged and darted into my room. So much for the decorum of a man of culture. I was the state's top scholar, and even I wasn't that arrogant. It was all Sophia's fault. Sophia, the winding road. Sophia, the long. Wait, long is me. Winding. Road. When you say the words separately, it sounds kind of dirty. Ugh. Anyway, the thought of Sophia made me grind my teeth. I had to get my revenge. The day before we left, our 2 families had a farewell dinner for us. Cool. Sophia, once you get to Boston, you can't keep fighting like you used to. You're college students now. You're far from home, and you'll have to rely on each other. So you need to stick together, help each other out. You understand? Mr. Tanner said. Hearing this, I glanced at Sophia, sitting next to me. She was making faces at me, looking incredibly smug. Yeah, right? Stick together. She had just screwed me over big time. Not only was my car gone, but she made my old man cancel my credit card. Like I was going to help her with anything. I nodded reluctantly. Mr. Tanner saw my displeasure and added, It's true that you shouldn't take that car to school. It's too flashy. First, it sends a wrong message. Second, you shouldn't flaunt your wealth. You're young, and it's easy to attract the wrong kind of attention. Third, we're too far away. If something unexpected happens, we can't get to you in time. Anyway, when you come back for breaks, you can drive it as much as you want. And if you have any other wishes, your uncle will do his best to make them happen, okay? Okay. I nodded, But I wasn't going to tell him about my dad controlling my finances. Only people like Sophia, who couldn't solve their own problems, would ask for outside help. Not me. I was capable of solving this problem myself. Good. Cole's really grown up. Your uncle says one thing, and you get it. Come on, stand up. Sophia, you too. Confused, Sophia and I stood up. You too. Shake hands, give each other a hug. From today on, you are the closest of allies. You have to present a united front. If you run into difficulties or trouble, you need to communicate with each other. Try to solve it yourselves. If you can't, then you call home, understand? This is also a chance for you to strengthen your independent problem-solving skills. Come on, shake hands first, then a hug. Seeing that we weren't moving, mister, Tanner repeated. The past, that's all childhood fun. Something to look back on when you're older. Don't hold grudges and think about getting revenge. Even real brothers and sisters fight, right? Come on, shake hands first. Seeing that, mister, Tanner was about to walk over. I stuck out my hand and shook Sophia's hard. As we hugged, she gritted her teeth and pinched the flesh on my lower back. So hard it brought tears to my eyes. Damn it, she used all her strength. Mister, Tanner's mouth twitched, and he was about to intervene. Sophia. But Mrs. Tanner quickly pulled him back down. Sophia, the best revenge on a man is to marry him, have a bunch of his kids, control his finances, and take away his freedom. Mrs. Tanner said suddenly. The whole table fell silent. Everyone looked at me. And Eleanor, that method is not advisable. For most women, after long-term cohabitation, especially after the birth of a child, their initial attitude will inevitably change. Furthermore, most women are genetically predisposed to sacrifice for their families. This strategy could easily backfire. I just thought of 3 other simple and efficient methods you could consider. 1. Your head. Cole, do you not understand the point of what I was saying? Mrs. Tanner asked, a little annoyed. I got it. Aren't you asking me for the simplest and most efficient way to get revenge on a man? I said, looking at her in confusion. Mrs. Tanner stared at me for a moment, then laughed awkwardly. All right, let's eat. I just saw this meme on TikTok, and I thought it was fitting, so I said it for a laugh. Eleanor, my mom, called to her, then pointed her own head and whispered, he'll figure it out eventually. Their childhood sweethearts grew up together. Who knows? Maybe they'll figure out on their own. Impossible. Impossible. I spoke before Sophia did. She glared at me. Mom, how old are you? Don't make jokes like that. You know about the Westermark effect, right? 2 children who grow up in close proximity during their early years typically do not develop a sexual attraction to each other as adults. It's because of the Wester. Shut your trap, eat your food, or get the hell out. My dad suddenly slammed the table and yelled at me. Then he muttered, how the hell did I raise something like this? Then he turned to Mr. Tanner and asked, Is he smart or just an idiot? Mr. Tanner rubbed his nose and smiled. Cole's not an ordinary kid. The problems he thinks about are more complex than even mine. His brain automatically filters out extraneous information to get to the core of the issue. Once he's out of the high-pressure academic environment, he'll change. No need to rush it. After he spoke, I wanted to say something, but Mr. Tanner suddenly held up his hand. Let's eat. And you 2 are going to school on your own tomorrow. You're old enough. Having to see you off is a little embarrassing. He had deliberately cut me off. Then, as if remembering something, he added, looking at me, also no dating. Yes, no dating. If I find out, I'll break his legs, my dad quickly chimed in. I had to laugh. Why were they all looking at me? With a $1,500 monthly allowance in Boston, what kind of dating was I going to do? They should have been saying that to Sophia. The next day, both sets of parents dropped us off at the airport early in the morning. Sophia, you know Cole's situation. Ever since middle school, and especially in high school, his emotional intelligence has just plummeted. You need to be the bigger person sometimes. Don't always bully him. After all, you'll need to stick together and support each other out there, Mrs. Tanner advised Sophia. She bullies me? I couldn't let that stand. I jumped in before Sophia could answer. And Eleanor, if my EQ was so low, how could I have gotten a near-perfect score on the SAT verbal section? My dad walked up and smacked me on the head, pointing towards the security checkpoint. Get lost. Sophia burst out laughing. In a terrible mood, I said my goodbyes and went through security with Sophia to the waiting area. The gate area wasn't crowded, only about a dozen people including us. Seeing we had time, I turned to Sophia, who was sitting next to me. We need to talk. I've been wrong too many times these past few days. I had to get some ground back from her. What's there to talk about? Even if that expert hadn't talked to your dad, they never would have let you take that car to school, Sophia said, standing up, crossing her arms, and looking down at me. Her posture made me feel inferior, so I stood up too. I made my peace with the car. You had a point. I accept that. But my allowance, Sophia, you're not going to give me an explanation for that. What is there to explain? 1,500 is the base amount. If you don't have enough, you can come to me for more. Come to you, and you'll just happily hand it over? Sophia, other people might not know you, but I do. You're incredibly vindictive. All I did was score a little better than you. Just 140 points more. Was it really necessary to have my dad cut off my allowance? We're in Boston. How am I supposed to live on $1,500? You getting a good score is a good thing for our family. Why would I get revenge on you for that? If you think the allowance isn't enough, then you could be my gopher. I guarantee your future will be full of all the beautiful things in the world, Sophia said, her tone imperious, looking exactly like a villainous corporate overlord. Yeah, right. I knew it. That man your mom was talking about getting revenge on, that was me, wasn't it? Huh. You want to control my finances, take away my freedom? On what grounds? Did you have my kids? Did you marry me? Sophia Tanner, you can keep dreaming. Sophia aimed to kick at me. I had seen it coming. I had sworn not to bully her anymore, but she didn't deserve my kindness. I caught her foot, pulled off her shoe, and kicked it far across the floor. Cole Stevens, are you tired of living? Sophia yelled, hopping on one foot, her expression furious. The girl had a great figure with incredibly long legs. Even hopping around on one foot, she had a certain elegant grace. But I was long past being impressed. She then threatened me. You had better go get my shoe right now, or I'm calling your dad and telling him to cut your allowance by 500. I looked at her, feeling utterly defeated. After a long moment, I sighed deeply. That was impulsive. So I obediently went to get her shoe. When I brought it back, she lifted her foot and rested it against my chest. Damn it. I obediently put her shoe back on for her. The second it was on, she grabbed a shirt on my shoulder and started kicking me repeatedly in the butt. I couldn't take it anymore. I hooked an arm around her neck, swept her legs out from under her, and took her down. You're forcing me to do this, aren't you? The battle escalated immediately. She had done dance, so she was flexible, and after years of fighting with me, she had plenty of combat experience. She wrapped her legs around my head, arched her back, and flipped me over, pinning me down. Then, with one arm choking me, she started pummeling me with her other fist. But I'd had training too, legit martial arts. There was no way I was going to let her beat me like this. So we started rolling around on the floor, locked in a completely emotionless brawl. More and more people started to gather around. We were making too much of a scene, and soon, the airport police showed up. This sucked. We were taken away by a couple of officers for a little chat. In the security office, I told them we were a couple on our way to college, and we just had a little argument. I showed them our acceptance letters and IDs. They were talking to us separately, but I wasn't worried about my lie being exposed. I knew Sophia would be telling them the exact same story. That's the kind of unspoken understanding childhood frenemies have. Of course, that's where the understanding ended. Finally, they brought us together and gave us a stern lecture. Mostly, they lectured me. I was the guy, after all. I was used to it. Look, you're a student at a top university. Getting into a fight with your girlfriend in public sets a terrible example. If we were to charge you, you'd be looking at a minimum of 5 days in detention and a criminal record. How would you get a job after that? You're a couple. If you have a disagreement, you should sit down and talk it out. You're both bright college students. Is fighting really the only solution you can think of? The officer took a sip of water and continued, Son, hitting a woman is a really low-class move, especially your own girlfriend. And your girlfriend is so beautiful. Can't you just be the bigger person? Look, you even slapped her. That pretty face is all red because of you. Aren't you afraid you'll scare her off? I immediately raised a hand to my mouth, guiding the officer's gaze to my face. Her face was red, but my lip was swollen. The officer saw my face, his mouth twitched, but he ultimately decided he still needed to call our parents. He was afraid we'd start fighting again as soon as we left. I quickly wrapped my arms around Sophia and tenderly admitted I was wrong. She immediately snuggled into my embrace like a frightened bird, and we put on a very convincing, sappy, lovey-dovey soap opera scene. The officer shook his head and let us go. On the way to the gate, Sophia linked her arm through mine and whispered intimately in my ear, Be my gopher. Base salary, $2,000 a month, with bonuses for good performance. Think about it. An army can be deprived of its commander, but a man cannot be deprived of his will. Cole Stevens, will never drink from a tainted spring, I said with righteous indignation. Beer gopher? No way. I was the state's top scholar. I had my pride. Fine. Your big sister Sophia isn't that heartless. If you change your mind, you can contact me anytime. I sincerely hope you can keep up this bravado, she said, as if she could see right through me. After arriving in Boston, Sophia suggested we get a hotel room first to drop off our luggage, then grab lunch, buy whatever we needed in the afternoon, and check into our dorms the next day. I thought it was a great idea, but Sophia refused to pay for my room, and she was staying at a 5-star hotel. Sorry, but with my $1,500 a month budget, I couldn't afford that kind of lifestyle. I couldn't join her. Finally, she said we hadn't slept in the same room for years, and she wanted to relive the old days, so she asked me to share a room with her. I reluctantly agreed. As long as I didn't have to pay, I was fine with anything. I just didn't expect that when she checked in, she only got one king-size bed. I asked her why she got a king room. How were 2 people supposed to sleep in that? She said the hotel was out of rooms with 2 beds. Bullshit. I hadn't even heard her ask the front desk. She just walked up and asked for a king room. Whatever. I wasn't sleeping on a couch. I wasn't going to make myself uncomfortable. Anyway, if I accidentally stole her blanket in the middle of the night, it was her own fault. After lunch, I trudged along like a pack mule, following Sophia as she shopped for hours. I was exhausted, but seeing as she was buying 2 of everything, I didn't say much. We had always had matching things growing up, from clothes and shoes to school supplies. A lot of people thought we were brother and sister. That night, we explored a night market. By the time we got back to the hotel, I was completely wiped out. The moment we walked in, I beat her to the shower. It wasn't that I was trying to be first, but she took forever to shower, at least an hour. I was in and out in less than 5 minutes. When I came out, she started laying down the law, talking about a pillow wall and other rules. What the hell? You're the one who asked me to stay here, and now you're making all these rules? Like I was lusting after her or something. I ignored her, cranked the AC down to its lowest setting, quickly blew my hair dry, and collapsed onto the bed, pulling the covers over my head to sleep. In a daze, I heard the sound of a hairdryer. I burrowed deeper into the covers and went back to sleep. Then I felt someone pull my blanket away, hit me a few times, and call me a loser. In the middle of the night, I felt a heavy weight on me. I fumbled for my phone and saw it was only 5 in the morning. I looked down and saw Sophia draped over me like an octopus. I turned on the light and shoved her off. What's your problem? Can't you be a little gentle? Sophia mumbled, still half asleep and cranky. You're the one who made the rule about the pillow wall. Look where you are now. You've practically pushed me off the bed, I said, patting the edge of the mattress in frustration. Sophia opened her eyes and stared at me. Her gaze made my skin crawl. After a long moment, she took a deep breath, sat up, and said, Cole Stevens, you think you're the victim here? You made the rule, and then you broke it. You have no principles. You don't think I have a right to be annoyed, I said, full of righteous indignation. I was in the right, after all. Even if we got into a fight right now, I wasn't afraid of her tattling to our parents. She nodded wearily, muttered, Jesus Christ, and lay back down to sleep. I turned off the light and lay down too. But then Sophia rolled over again, grabbed my arm, tucked it under her neck, and wrapped herself around me like an octopus once more. Her reaction got me thinking, maybe I shouldn't keep fighting with her like I did back home. After all, back there, after every fight, we'd have to see each other at school or at home the next day and would be forced to make up. But here, without those external factors, if we had a real falling out, who knew when we'd make up? Then my life for the next. For years would be miserable, wouldn't it? $1,500 a month in Boston? Forget about dating. I'd barely be able to survive. Of course, I would never be her gopher. That was too humiliating, but I could freeload off her. Our schools were only a couple of miles apart. $1 on the bus. That way, I could save my $1,500. And if I kept her happy, maybe I could even score some extra cash. That was way better for my pride than being her official lackey. Yes, this precious treasure, this big spender, had to be coddled. Ugh, I was becoming just like my father. I never thought the first thing I'd do in college would be to figure out how to sweet-talk a rich girl. How pathetic. This time, I didn't push her away. I just let her be and went to sleep. In the morning, I left my stuff at the hotel and carried her things to her school to help her check in. Sophia, it turned out, was very pretty. I used to think the only reason she had a flock of sycophants helping her torment me was because of her money. But now I wasn't so sure. How did I figure this out? Well, the girl was just too damn popular. The moment the upperclassmen saw her, they turned into a pack of horny puppies, all excited and overly attentive. At first, they thought we were a couple because our matching outfits looked like a couple's set. They were a bit more reserved in front of me. But when they found out I was her brother, their eyes lit up. I ended up with a pocket full of cigarettes they offered me. I felt a pang of disappointment. The world must be blind. Besides her good figure, elegant air, rich family, and slightly above average grades, what else did Sophia Tanner have? The rest of her was a complete disaster. She was a tattletale, violent, and incredibly sneaky. Not at all like a girl. A group of guys took my luggage from me, and I was slowly pushed out of the crowd. When we reached the girls' dorm, I didn't go up. I wasn't needed anymore. I left without a word, went back to the hotel, grabbed my things, and went to my own school. I felt like an unwanted stray dog. On the way, I imagined getting the same reception as Sophia when I arrived at my school. After all, I wasn't bad-looking, and I was the state's top scholar. But alas, it was not to be. I guess the girls at Harvard are just more reserved. It was also my fault for not having my Lamborghini. No, it was all Sophia's fault. Sophia texted me, annoyed that I had left without saying goodbye. What was the point of saying anything? Even if I had said goodbye 100 times, I still would have had to leave. She was so popular. She didn't have time for me. I gave her a half-hearted reply and ended the conversation. Who knew how many guys were swarming around her at that moment? I didn't want to interrupt. After moving in, we had a 2-week freshman orientation. It was tough, but I had a good foundation, so it wasn't too bad. I actually kind of liked the feeling of perseverance and testing my willpower. As Emerson said, the hero is not fed on sweets. Daily his own heart he eats. I felt like that hero, striding with purpose, full of grit. Then Sophia started texting me, complaining about how hard and tiring it was. It was really killing my vibe. Freshman orientation is supposed to be tough and boring, but it's also a life experience, the best opportunity to conquer yourself and train your will. As the Stoics said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way, and as the saying goes, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Sophia, it is in these moments of hardship that you must summon the indomitable spirit of your ancestors. How can you let a little orientation defeat you? You have to understand that people grow through constant trials, just like a small tree can only grow into a mighty oak after weathering the storms. I sent her a dozen texts like that. A long time later, she finally replied, "You jealous little jerk. You're dead. Humph. Frailty, thy name is woman." I turn off my phone, not bothering to reply. Me? Jealous of her? That's hilarious. After orientation, my dad called and told me to go find Sophia. He said she was sick. Doesn't BU have a health clinic? Why do they need me? Although I was annoyed, I went. It wasn't because I was worried about Sophia, of course. It was because it was the weekend, and I was completely broke. I had already gotten a student bus pass through a club on campus. Bus rides were 80% off, which meant it only cost 20 cents to get to her school, and 40 cents by subway. A round trip was less than 50 cents. Why not go? Early in the morning, on an empty stomach, I splurged on a subway ride. It was only 3 stops, but I didn't mind spending the extra 20 cents. I found her dorm from memory. Downstairs, there were a bunch of guys holding breakfast, standing, squatting, or gathered in groups, waiting for someone. I hadn't seen anything like this at Harvard. It was pathetic. Did you really have to be this desperate to get a girl? As I walked past them, I discreetly checked out what they were holding. TSK, TSK. These breakfasts had to be at least 20 bucks each. How much was their monthly allowance? And weren't they hungry or thirsty during orientation? After loading up my transit card meal plan, I had bought one last pack of instant noodles and a sausage last night, and now I didn't have a penny left. Ugh, I didn't even have the qualifications to buy a girl breakfast. It was all Sophia's fault. I called Sophia, and she came down quickly. The moment she appeared at the top of the stairs, all the guys sprang into action, swarming around her. Holy crap. All these guys were here for Sophia? Was she really that pretty? I had to admit, her long legs were stunning. And not just her legs, her arms were long too. When people were calling me Coleslaw, I had nicknamed her Gibbon. Our parents had ganged up on me and put a stop to that pretty quickly. Anyway, these guys made me realize that my sense of aesthetics must be unique on a whole other level. Like Picasso, the kind of beauty I appreciated was clearly more advanced. Otherwise, how could I have had such a stunning girl by my side for all these years and never noticed? It didn't make sense. Sophia broke through the crowd, affectionately linked her arm through mine, and announced to the guys, "Thank you all for your kindness, but I told you I have a boyfriend. You didn't believe me, so now I brought him here. See, this is my boyfriend, Cole Stevens. We came here from the same hometown, but he's at Harvard next door." Instantly, dozens of pairs of eyes, filled with a mixture of coldness, jealousy, envy, and hatred, were fixed on me. But I didn't flinch. I didn't feel scared. Instead, I felt my heart pound with a strange power, as if I had been reborn. A warmth spread through me, like a gentle spring breeze on my face, bringing an incredible sense of comfort. There was only one word for this feeling: awesome. In that moment, all the gloom of the past few weeks vanished. I was in an excellent mood. "Come on, I'll take you to breakfast," Sophia said. Then she let go of my arm, turned me around, and jumped on my back. I quickly grabbed her long legs to support her. Whoa! A chorus of gasps erupted from the crowd, from both guys and girls. I was so moved I could have cried. So this is what it feels like to be the center of attention. In that moment, I felt like I was carrying my Lamborghini. My Lamborghini. With Sophia yelling giddy up again and again, I hit 70 miles per hour. Riding at 70, feeling so free, wishing my destination was the deep blue sea, running full speed. The dream is in sight. I belted out at the top of my lungs. Sophia, on my back, was giggling uncontrollably. Everyone we passed stopped to stare. After a long, long time, I finally ran out of steam. I put her down and collapsed on the ground. Sophia, your dorm is seriously far from the dining hall. It's not so bad. It's just a few minutes walk from the building, Sophia said, blinking her big, innocent eyes, looking at me like I was the world's biggest idiot. A few minutes? I've been running with you on my back for over 20 minutes, and you're still... Wait a minute. Damn it. It dawned on me. Sophia, you tricked me. This is your first time visiting my school. I just wanted to show you the campus scenery, Sophia said, trying to suppress a smile as she feigned innocence. Damn it. I let out a long breath. I still needed money from her, so I decided not to bully her anymore and just lay on the ground in a starfish pose. But the more I thought about it, the more I felt wronged. What did I get for always backing down? So I said, I act as your human shield. And not only do you not thank me, but you old witch, you tricked me too? Who the hell would build a dining hall this far away? Damn it, Cole Stevens, are you trying to die? You dare call me an old witch? I'll kick your ass. Sophia stood up and kicked the sole of my shoe. Hey, Sophia, I'm warning you. If you want to fight, you have to wait until I've recovered. If you start something while I'm down, it just proves you're a shameless, despicable, and low-life person. I quickly scrambled to my feet, leaning on my knees as I yelled at her. You're the shameless, despicable, low-life. Sophia yelled back. How am I shameless, despicable, and a low-life? How are you not shameless, despicable, and a low-life? No matter how shameless, despicable, and low-life I am, I could never be more shameless, despicable, and a low-life than you. Sophia, furious, launched a flying kick at me. I wasn't about to back down either, and we started kicking at each other. A crowd gathered around us, all of them looking at us in disbelief. Just moments ago, they had witnessed an incredibly romantic campus love story, and the next second, the two lovebirds were engaged in a full-blown martial arts battle on the BU beach, a popular spot for couples. When we caught sight of the onlookers out of the corner of our eyes, we both instinctively stopped. We slung our arms around each other's shoulders like best buddies and walked towards the dining hall. After a quick breakfast, we held hands and bolted off campus. Ugh, those stairs. I could still feel them on my back. Someone had recognized me as the brother who had dropped Sophia off on the first day. Someone else had also spread the story of us fighting on the beach. Crap. Our relationship was starting to face some serious scrutiny. A bunch of guys were trying to add me on social media, calling me bro. Damn it. A bunch of guys. Once we were off campus, Sophia asked me, where do you want to go? I knew my chance had come. I put on a dejected look and said, I'm in a bad mood. I want to go back to my school and play basketball. Let's go shopping. I want to go back and play basketball. How about we go for a walk along the Charles River? Nah, I'm going back to play basketball. Do you absolutely have to play basketball? Look, what's so fun about going out? It's crowded. Everything's expensive. You have to spend money everywhere. Are you out of money? I'll give you 1,000. Spend the day with me. You got it, Princess Sophia. I quickly started pushing her towards the bus stop. You did that on purpose, didn't you? She said, turning her head to look at me suspiciously. What did I do on purpose? I don't have a single penny in my pocket. If I don't go back and play basketball, where else am I going to go? I made sure to emphasize the part about not having a single penny. Sophia gave me a disdainful look. So what if I'm broke? Is it a crime? She didn't press the issue and took me out for a day of fun. Naturally, Princess Sophia paid for everything. To be honest, my family could have afforded this kind of lifestyle for me. That night, we stayed at the 5-star hotel again. Damn it, all Sophia's fault. Cole, we bought matching pajamas we posted on Instagram. They should believe we're a couple now, right? Sophia asked, lying on the bed and editing photos. Ugh, why do you care so much? Just stick to your story that you have a boyfriend, and that's that, I replied, leaning against the headboard and playing a game on my phone. What if we actually started dating? Oh my God, you're such an idiot. You've already made it official on Instagram. You've admitted it in front of all of them. If they don't believe you, they won't believe you even if it's real. I didn't hear her say anything for a long time. I glanced up and saw she was staring at me. What? I'll cooperate with whatever you say. What more do you want? But your parents and my parents saw the post. Ah, let me see what you posted. I close my game and open her Instagram. Are you an idiot? You posted a picture from the hotel room. It makes it look more real. True. Well, whatever then. I went back to my game. But they're going to misunderstand and think we're sharing a room, Sophia pressed. That's their problem. What does it have to do with us? My conscience is clear. Sophia suddenly turned on me. Damn it. How did I end up with such a massive idiot? You're the massive idiot. I put down my phone and watched her, ready for an attack. Moron, Sophia muttered, then went back to editing her photos. Danger averted. I went back to my game. Hey, it's been a while since school started. Have any girls in your classes shown interest in you? Sophia asked suddenly. Nope, I answered without thinking. No one's even tried to talk to you? Well, one did. She was pretty cute. What did she say? She asked me if I had a girlfriend. Damn, I was actually pretty excited for a second. I put down my phone and started telling the story with gusto. A girl actually took the initiative to ask if I was single. I thought, this is it. I'm finally gonna get a girlfriend. So what happened? So, to confirm my theory, I asked her if she had a boyfriend. She said no. I was 100% sure it was a done deal, you know? And she came to me first, so I'd save a lot of money on dating her. So why didn't anything happen? Ugh. I asked her what kind of guy she liked. She said she liked my type. Crap, I don't have a brother. Where am I supposed to find her another guy who looks just like me? But I didn't want to hurt her feelings, so I just told her I'd keep an eye out for her, and then I left. After I finished, Sophia just stared at me blankly. What's wrong with you? Why do you keep staring at me like that? I grumbled. That was the second time in just a few minutes she had stared at me like that. Are you absolutely sure you're not messing with me? Sophia asked, testing the waters. Why would I mess with you? That girl has low emotional intelligence. I'm right here, available, and she wants to find someone who looks like me. I shook my head and went back to my phone. Oh my God, you idiot. And you say she has low emotional intelligence. Oh my God, I'm dying. Sophia suddenly burst into hysterical laughter. I turned my back to her and kept playing my game. Weirdo. Cole Stevens. Cole Stevens, if it weren't for me, the Stevens family line would end with you. I swear it. Hearing this, I turned back around. No insults about family or ancestors, and no curses. That's the rule. All right, rules. Turn around, go back to your game. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm afraid my IQ will drop just by being near you. I beat you by 140 points on the SAT. I'm a state scholar, Harvard and MIT were fighting over me. Which one of us has the low IQ? Me, it's me, Scholar Stevens. You're amazing. I bowed down to you. Please, continue playing your moronic game. It's not a moronic game. I wrote this game myself. You need a brain to play it. Sophia sighed deeply and said softly, I really don't know what my life will be like in the future, stuck with a blockhead like you. Just like this, I replied. Suddenly, I remembered our deal for the day wasn't settled yet. Hey, you still owe me the $1,000 you promised me today. Go take a shower first. I'll give it to you after. Hearing this, I immediately got up to shower. I thought I heard her mumble, yeah, this is pretty good. You're lucky, Cole Stevens. I shower fast, and even faster when money is on the line. I was done in 3 minutes. When I came out, I saw her play on my phone. Money, I said, holding out my hand. Who carries cash anymore? I Venmo'd it to you, she said, rolling her eyes. I snatched my phone back and checked. The money was there. So I lay back down on the bed and started playing my game again. You know, you're actually pretty popular with the girls at your school, Sophia said. Popular my ass. I see a lot of girls from your school chatting with you online. It's all just small talk. I can't even be bothered to reply. A guy like you is surprisingly reassuring. Hey, but my mom was right. Just because you're reassuring doesn't mean other people will have an easy time. Especially an idiot like you who's actively trying to get a girlfriend. It would only take a few conversations for someone to figure you out and have you wrapped around their little finger. And the worst part is, with your one-track mind, you'd probably never even see it coming. But my mom told me to make a move soon. What kind of move is she talking about? She wasn't very clear, Sophia mumbled, rolling over to face the ceiling. I glanced at her before going back to my game. Aunt Eleanor seemed to have some serious misconceptions about me. I'd have to have a chat with her when I went home for break. Cole Stevens, tonight I'm going for it. You're one lucky, stupid gopher, Sophia said, propping her head up with her hand and winking at me. I just stared at her like she was an idiot. Damn it, Cole Stevens, I just said something like that. And you're looking at me like that? What does that mean? Do you still not get what I'm saying? What exactly does your mom mean? Does she really think we're together? Or does she want us to actually get together? I said, rationally. She was getting flustered. I had the upper hand in this conversation. Well, look who finally caught on, Sophia said, her spirits lifting as she sat up straight. But we can't. If we got together, wouldn't that be like incest? Get lost. Sophia kicked out at me. nearly sending me flying off the bed. Sophia, I'm warning you, don't start anything, I said, grabbing the edge of the bed and glaring at her. Sophia stood up on the bed. I quickly got up and stood on the floor, ready to dodge her attack and counter. But the attack I expected never came. She straightened her clothes and looked down at me. All right, gopher. I'm going to take a shower. By the way, do you want to see me in black stockings, white ones, or nude ones later? Huh? You brought that many pairs of stockings? How come I didn't see them? Cole Stevens, are you an idiot? Is that really the most important question right now? But I really didn't see you pack that many stockings. Damn it. What kind of insanity possessed me to even ask you that question? Sophia muttered before jumping off the bed, glaring at me, and disappearing into the bathroom. So weird. Getting angry for no reason. I really didn't see her pack any stockings. Besides, what kind of stockings hasn't she worn? I've seen them all. Was it really necessary to ask? While she was showering, I called my mom. I suspected Aunt Eleanor was really trying to set me up with Sophia. I had to tell my mom about this, so she could talk to her. This was getting out of hand. The call connected. Mom, don't hang up. I have something important to tell you. Thankfully, she didn't hang up on me like she usually did. I told her everything that had happened today, leaving out the part about the fight. I laid out all the reasons why Sophia and I couldn't be together. First, we grew up together, so there was no mutual attraction. The fact that after all these years, I had never realized how beautiful other people thought she was the best proof of that. So, if our parents forced it, it would backfire and be bad for our marital life. Second, we were students. Students should focus on their studies. Anything else was basically a crime. Third, our families were too close. Suddenly becoming in-laws would pose several risks, such as, before I could finish, I heard my dad's voice on the other end. If you keep spouting this nonsense, do you believe I'll fly over there right now and beat you to death? You idiot. Dad, don't call me Dad. Frank Case. A burst of cheerful laughter came from the other end of the line. Where's Sophia? My dad's suppressed voice asked. She's taking a shower. What's her attitude? Did she say anything? She's angry. Did you provoke her again? No, she asked me if I wanted to see her in black stockings, white ones, or nude ones, but I... Stop. That kind of thing is private. It's awkward to talk about, especially for family and elders to hear. Why are you telling me this? My dad quickly cut me off. I could faintly hear my mom in the background saying something about kids just playing around. I guess Mr. and Mrs. Tanner were there too. I had recognized their laughter earlier. Weren't you the one who asked? There was a long pause on the other end. I thought they had hung up, but then the line really did go dead. Ugh, it's so hard to communicate with older people. We have a generational gap. Sophia came out of the bathroom after drying her hair, got into bed, and immediately snuggled into my arms. My first thought was that she was homesick. After my phone call, I had suddenly felt a pang of emptiness. I'd been here for over half a month and hadn't been able to get in touch with my family once. Hearing my parents' voices today suddenly made me miss them too. If a big guy like me felt this way, Sophia must be feeling it too. I held her tightly. You miss home, right? It's okay. You can hold me. Cry if you want to. Damn it, Sophia. Are you a dog? I quickly pushed her away, yelling. She had bit me hard on the chest. It hurt like hell. Cole Stevens, are you really this stupid? Or are you just pretending? I'm literally lying in your arms, and you still don't get it? Homesick? I video call my parents and your parents every day. Why would I be homesick? Sophia yelled, furious. Why do my parents answer your calls, but not mine? Every time I call, they either hang up or say they're busy. If I hadn't gotten through a few times, I would have thought they blocked me. I complained angrily. A pillow suddenly hit me in the head, and a powerful force struck my waist, kicking me out of bed. Phone calls. Who the hell is talking to you about phone calls? From today on, I'm going to focus on my studies. I'll send you your allowance on time, but don't you ever call me again. I won't be calling you either. You could be a lonely bachelor for the rest of your life. I'm done with you. After her tirade, Sophia pulled the covers over her head and turned to the other side of the bed. Was it really necessary to get this angry? If you're not homesick, you're not homesick. I wasn't blaming her. But why do my parents never answer my calls? And why do they pick up so quickly today? Something was fishy, but it was late. I'd think about it later. Time to sleep. That night, we slept on our own sides of the bed, not bothering each other. For nearly a month after that, we had no contact. I called her, but she wouldn't answer. Her telling me not to call was just something she said in anger. I'm not a complete idiot. Of course I was going to call her. But since she wasn't picking up, I was worried I'd go to her school and not be able to find her, wasting my time. And my time was not abundant. A professor had taken an interest in me, and I'd been spending all my time with his research group, so I hadn't had a chance to go look for her. Cole, come save me. I'm at the Cobalt Lounge. Some guys are harassing me. One night, around 9 p. M. I never expected the next call I got from her would be a cry for help. I sprinted out of my dorm. She wasn't far, maybe a mile or so. I ran at full speed. From the moment I left my dorm, it took me less than 5 minutes to get to where she was. Just as I arrived, I saw Sophia and 3 other girls running out of the bar, with a dozen guys following them, shouting and mock-chasing them to scare them. My adrenaline spiked. I launched a flying kick at the guy in the front. It quickly devolved into a brawl. I knew how to fight, but I was outnumbered, and some of them went back into the bar and came out with steel pipes. Now I was in trouble. They had weapons. Sophia saw I was losing and had already taken a few hits. She ran over and took a pipe to the back from me, then collapsed. Damn it, I was going to kill someone. I took a hit from a pipe myself, wrenched it from the guy's hand, and turned into a one-man army. I beat at least one of them severely and knocked several others down. When the police cars arrived, I picked up Sophia and started running towards the hospital. But a police officer stopped me. I pulled out my student ID, my bus pass, my phone, everything I had on me, and handed it to him. The hospital was close, less than a mile away. When we got to the hospital, I watched them put Sophia on a stretcher. Then, suddenly, my vision blurred and my limbs felt weak. I collapsed on the floor. It was only then that the doctors realized I was the one who was seriously injured. After the police confirmed my identity, I unexpectedly became a huge news story. There were even police officers guarding my hospital room 24/7. University administrators, city officials, and student representatives came in waves to visit me. I lost count of how many news crews showed up. After all, I was the state's top scholar. That title carried a lot of weight. And the fact that I, a freshman who had barely started, had already been selected to join a research team that was almost half professors and postdocs, showed how much the university valued me. Plus, videos of me sprinting to save Sophia, of her taking a hit for me, and of me head bleeding, carrying her, and running for my life before collapsing in the hospital, had all gone viral. The internet was crying over our story. The praise was overwhelming. College students everywhere started hailing us as gods of true love and devotion. The legal outcome also made me feel a strong sense of security. Several deans from Harvard personally intervened. Even though I'd thrown the first punch, I faced no punishment and even received several $1,000s in compensation. The guys who attacked us got a minimum of 6 months in jail. When Sophia woke up, she cried her eyes out on my bedside. After we were discharged, Sophia started visiting my school very frequently. Our relationship became even closer than before. One evening, Sophia and I were strolling through Harvard Yard. It's one of the best preserved historic landscapes in the area, a real piece of history. We both loved coming here. She was holding my arm and whispered, "The moon is beautiful tonight." I was confused. There was no moon tonight. I looked up at the sky. Nothing. Was this some kind of riddle? What could it be? I searched my brain for answers, but came up empty. This was a challenging problem. Sophia wouldn't say something like that for no reason. I let go of her arm and called my partner from the research project, explaining the situation. Before long, our entire team of over a dozen people showed up. Sophia was stunned. She had met these people before. There was at least one full professor from Harvard, several postdoc mentors, and even 2 PhD advisors. She could never summon a lineup like that at BU. But I did it with a single phone call. How could she not be dumbfounded? "Cole, I checked. It's been cloudy for the past 2 days," said Ben Carter. "Right. And to add to that, there's no moon visibility in Boston or any surrounding cities tonight or tomorrow night. DR." Lisa Chen added, "This statement probably isn't about meteorology. Cole, can you describe the context in which the problem was presented?" Professor Albright asked me. So, I told everyone the exact location and direction Sophia was facing when she said it. Sophia stood to the side, biting her lip, looking at our group in bewilderment. Then, she cautiously raised her hand. Professor Albright immediately held up his hand to stop her. "Sophia, don't give us the answer. Trust us. We will definitely be able to crack this puzzle." Sophia watched as we took photos, measured angles, and recorded wind speed, gathering data before heading to the lab. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore. She yelled, "The moon is beautiful tonight" is an internet phrase. It comes from translation by the famous Japanese author Natsume Soseki. If someone says, "The moon is beautiful tonight" to you, it means they're telling you they love you. And if you feel the same way, you can reply, "The wind is gentle too," which means you like them back. After she finished, she bowed repeatedly. "I'm so sorry. I was just trying to be romantic with Cole. I'm so sorry." Everyone stood there, frozen. "Huh, so it has nothing to do with math or physics," someone said. "Sophia, are you a humanities major?" Professor Albright asked. Sophia nodded nervously, then quickly shook her head. I'm in finance. Finance is good. The finance program at BU is excellent, produces a lot of talent. You'll have a lot of opportunities after graduation. It's getting late. We should head back, the professor said. After everyone left, Sophia kicked me and ran off without looking back. My fault? I thought she was trying to give us a little brain teaser about astronomy to help us de-stress. No wonder I didn't have a clue. Time flew by, and soon it was sophomore year. Looking back, I've been a very successful human shield for Sophia that year. God knows how many people were shipping us. Not just at her school and mine, but even people back home who knew us believed we were a couple. Also, that moronic game I made, it went viral in the second semester of my freshman year. 10 days after it launched, I made $7 million. Of course, the initial boost in popularity was definitely thanks to the videos of me saving Sophia. Talk about a blessing in disguise. With Mr. Tanner's help, I set up a gaming company called Sophia Games. The legal representative and CEO was Sophia, but I was the majority shareholder. Sophia said that since the public thought we were a couple, it would raise questions if she wasn't the face of the company. Besides, I didn't know how to run a company, and it made more sense for her to manage it for me. She was afraid of a repeat of the harassment incident and worried I wouldn't have the energy or skills to manage the company properly. I thought about it and agreed. So, the company name and legal representative were both hers. Before the hype died down, I released a few more simple games I had written, and they also blew up. The company was valued at over $3 billion. My dad told me my net worth was now several times greater than Mr. Tanner's. That was a huge surprise. I really had just written the game because all the other ones on the market were too stupid and not fun to play. I never expected it to become so popular. In the hotel, Sophia was playing my game and said, "Damn, my dad was right. The world of a genius is something we mortals can never comprehend. Cole Stevens, you are absolutely incredible. Everything you touch turns to gold." She looked up, pouted, and said, "Please forgive me for always thinking of you as a stupid gopher, okay? And also, this isn't a moronic game." I rolled my eyes at her. Sophia's emotional intelligence was really low. Her expression suddenly changed, and she glared at me. "Don't badmouth me in your head. You hear me?" Damn it. I quickly looked down at my phone. "Did you really just write this for fun?" she asked again. "You saw it yourself. Every time we're bored at the hotel, I play games. If I don't like something, I just go into the code and change it," I said. We often came to this 5-star hotel on weekends to maintain the illusion that we were a real couple. "You coded it on your phone?" "Not entirely. Anyway, it's really simple. You want to learn?" No thanks. "When did you learn how to make games?" "After the SATs, while I was waiting for my Lamborghini. I was bored, so I read a tutorial online and started messing around." "You're a badass. No wonder you're always on your phone when we're together. I never knew you were working on something big. Cole Stevens, I'll never call you a gopher again." Suddenly, Sophia put down her phone and pressed her temples. Wait a minute." She looked at me. "Damn it. Cole Stevens, are you bored when you're with me?" "No. I have games to play, don't I?" "Damn it. Stupid gopher and moronic game." Sophia cursed, turned off the game, and climbed into bed, pulling the covers over her. She didn't fight with me anymore. At most, if she got really angry, we'd exchange a few kicks. I was actually kind of envious of Sophia. Ever since she started college, she was the center of attention wherever she went. Ugh, we're both human. Why wasn't I as pretty and likable as Sophia? I looked at myself in the mirror and fell into a deep state of self-doubt. I was a big name in school now. President of the student government, even chairman of the National Student Federation. How cool was that? So why had no girl ever confessed her feelings to me or written me a love letter? Yes, on the surface, I had a girlfriend. But if someone really liked me, why not take a chance? It's not like I was married. "Cole, what are your plans for the future?" Sophia asked, peeking her head out from under the covers. "I want to use my time in college to achieve something significant," I said after a moment of serious thought. "Get lost." Sophia pulled the covers back over her head and completely ignored me. Ugh, this woman, always getting angry for no reason. I genuinely wanted to achieve something. I had access to the best labs in the country here. I wouldn't have this kind of opportunity once I graduated. And it seemed like Sophia had feelings for me. She hid it well, but I had figured it out. I didn't call her out on it, though. Her emotional intelligence was low, and it would only embarrass her. I just never imagined that someone as brilliant as her would fall for an unremarkable speck of dust like me. I really didn't see that coming. Our families were all very supportive of us being together, so I felt like if I didn't achieve something great, I wouldn't be worthy of her. After all, she was the moon, and I was just a speck of dust. At the end of the first semester of our senior year, after a year of intensive, closed-door research, our team successfully developed a new type of chip. This was the research project I had been selected for at the very beginning of my freshman year. It was a high-level project. You couldn't get in unless you were someone like a state scholar. And in the end, I even became one of the lead researchers. This chip could process ultra-high-speed data and wireless communication signals simultaneously at extremely low bandwidth and power consumption. It was a major breakthrough in military applications like decoding radio signals, radar target tracking, and high-speed digital data processing. We also developed another chip alongside it that could capture visual information with high speed, high precision, and a high dynamic range, bringing new breakthroughs to artificial intelligence and vision technology. The combination of these two chips advanced our military technology by at least a full generation. It also brought more convenient services to civilian life. My team and I became famous both at home and abroad. Badass that I was, I received invitations to visit numerous renowned tech companies from all over the world before I even graduated. The day I was released from the research lockdown, Sophia came to my school early to wait for me. Seeing her again after more than a year, I felt my heart skip a beat. She had changed so much. Damn, I couldn't find the words to describe the change, but she just seemed so much like a woman. Her face was so exquisite it left me dumbstruck. It was only then that I truly realized how beautiful Sophia was. I had been in lockdown for over a year. I hadn't seen her or even my own parents. All communication with the outside world was through a landline because our project was classified at the highest level. Once we entered the critical phase, to prevent leaks, my team and I never left the lab. The lab was guarded 24/7 by armed police. Forget about family. Even the university president needed special clearance to enter. She stared at me, dumbfounded. I collected myself and said, "Long time no see." Suddenly, for no reason, she started to cry. The look on her face made it seem like I had just gotten out of prison. She threw herself at me, hugging me tightly. I was at a loss for what to do. We had hugged like this many times before, so why was my reaction so different this time? Her crying turned into full-blown sobbing. I couldn't hold her steady in my arms, and she stumbled and fell to the ground. She looked up at me with a resentful expression. Then her gaze shifted downwards, and her expression instantly turned to anger. "Damn it, Cole Stevens, your hands are still in your pockets?" she cursed, wiping away a tear. "Huh." I quickly pulled my hands out. "What are you taking them out for? Aren't you cold?" she said teasingly. "A little." I stuck them back in. "Cole Stevens, you stupid gopher, you put them back in." I could feel the murderous intent in Sophia's eyes. I quickly pulled them out again. "Don't you see I'm still on the ground?" I quickly squatted down to help her up. "If you wanted me to help you, just say so. Why go through all this trouble? It just confuses people." Ugh, it's been over a year. For a second, I thought she had changed, but she was still the same. Low emotional intelligence, and she can't even express what she really wants. Who has the energy to play these guessing games? What do they call it online? Being dramatic. After I helped her up, she kicked me and pointed a finger at me. "You were bad-mouthing me in your head again, weren't you? Damn it, what gave me away?" Then, she grabbed my collar and looked at it. "How long has it been since you showered?" "Not that long." "Not that long? I can smell you from here, and the collar of your jacket is black. And you say it hasn't been that long? You haven't cut your hair or shaved your beard. You're a mess. Are the others like this too?" "Pretty much. We don't go out, and the lab has AC 24/7. We don't really sweat, so we don't bother." "Oh my God!" Sophia exclaimed. Then she grabbed my hand and started walking. In the parking lot, I saw my Lamborghini. My Lamborghini! I ran towards it, hugged it, and burst into tears right there. I hadn't seen it in at least 2 years. My college life was different from other students. My winter and summer breaks were only a few days long. Before the lockdown, I would only get to drive it a few times a year when I went home, but at least I could see it. This lockdown meant I hadn't seen it in 2 years. Sophia stomped her feet in frustration and charged at me, kicking me furiously. I was plastered to the body of my car, kissing it over and over, completely ignoring her kicks, just letting out all my pent-up longing. In the car, she called the hotel and asked the staff to fill the bathtub. Then she went to the supermarket and bought a bunch of things, exfoliating gloves, hair clippers, and so on. Damn it, this violent, emotionally unintelligent woman was going to cut my hair. At the hotel, she dragged me straight into the bathroom. Under the threat of her repeated kicks, I ended up with not even my shorts on. Damn it, she was going to give me a bath, and a haircut, and other things. Anyway, we were together now. One thing led to another, and we spent the whole night at it. But I still felt like I had more in me. "How come you have those kind of videos on your phone?" I asked, lying in bed, curious. Hearing this, Sophia buried her head under the covers. I pulled the covers off and kept asking. I was genuinely curious how a girl like her would have videos like that. Sophia got angry. Cole Stevens, are you sick? Why do you think I have them? How would I know if you don't tell me? Damn it, I really want to kill you. Fine, don't tell me. I never knew that behind your cool exterior, you were such a perv. Damn it. Ugh. My mom gave them to me, okay? She was afraid we wouldn't know what to do. After she said it, Sophia hid under the covers again. Oh, so that's why. It was totally unnecessary, though. I may not have had any practical experience, but I know all the theory, I remarked. I had never done it before, but everyone in the research lab, except for me, was married. Some were even married couples working together. The year-long lockdown was boring and stressful, so they would often tell dirty jokes to lighten the mood. So, I really did know the theory. Hey, Sophia. I suddenly wanted to know how she felt, so I pulled the covers off and called her name. What? Sophia popped her head out, annoyed. How did it feel for you? The first time was a little painful. The next 2 times, I didn't really feel anything, Sophia said, after thinking for a moment. How could you not feel anything? That's impossible. I really didn't feel anything. The 3 times combined weren't even 5 minutes. What was there to feel? Her words hit me hard. If I had known you were going to be so fast every time, I wouldn't have bothered with the shower. It was such a hassle, Sophia continued to complain. Her words felt like a knife stabbing into my heart. Ugh, I thought this was supposed to be some incredible experience. The woman in the video must have been acting. I really didn't feel anything at all, Sophia lamented seriously. Sophia, are you deliberately trying to humiliate me? I asked, getting angry. Sophia suddenly realized her words were hurtful and quickly wrapped her arms around my neck, trying to comfort me. No, I did feel something. Next time, I'll try to act like the woman in the video, okay? Damn it, and you say you're not trying to humiliate me. I pull my head out of her embrace. Hey, are you going to be reasonable or not? This was my first time too. I don't have any experience either. I don't know what to say or how to act. Anyway, I promise you, next time, whether I feel anything or not, I will act just like the woman in the video. Are you satisfied now? No, I want you to show me how you really feel from the bottom of your heart. But I don't have any feelings. Damn it. Sophia, you're trying to kill me. Cole Stevens, now I'm really confused. I don't have any feelings, but you insist that I express my innermost feelings. But if I don't have any feelings, how can I express them? I said I would act like the woman in the video, but you won't let me. What do you want me to do? I buried my face in the pillow, on the verge of tears. But then she climbed on my back, hugged me, and whispered a bunch of things that just trampled all over a man's pride. And to top it all off, she thought I was being dramatic. Everyone in my family says I have no emotional intelligence. I think the person with the least emotional intelligence is Sophia. When we were checking out the hotel, our 4 parents came to pick us up. The moment they walked in, all 4 of them stared at Sophia. Sophia's face turned beet red, but she still gave a tiny, almost imperceptible nod. Holy crap, even someone as tough as her could get shy? Then, they turned their attention to me. They were all over me, fussing about how much they worried, praising my achievements. It was quite a scene. After lunch, they took me to my company. Holy crap, a whole building just for my gaming company. Was it really that big? Mr. Tanner had the tech department show me a game they were developing. After I looked at it, my dad said, this game feels okay at the beginning, but later on, I just don't feel anything. The character skins have no feeling, and the skill effects have no feeling either. Hearing this, the tablet in my hand almost slipped and fell on the table. It's true. I played the demo, and I didn't feel anything either, Mr. Tanner added. It's all right. I felt a little something, but I don't know much about games, so I won't comment, Aunt Eleanor said. What do you mean, no feeling? The tech guys are right here. And you just keep saying no feeling, no feeling. You should know that the stars don't ask the traveler for directions, and time does not betray the determined. Do you have any idea how hard they work, day and night, to develop these games? I interjected, feeling indignant. Their constant use of the trigger words, no feeling, was really getting to me. Everyone stared at me, dumbfounded. I swiped a few times on the tablet and said, what do you mean, no feeling? Where's there no feeling? I think it looks great. It has plenty of feeling. Then I tossed the tablet on the table. For the ideal that I hold dear to my heart, I'd not regret 1,000 deaths. As long as they stick to their dreams, they shouldn't be humiliated by you. The tech guys quickly chimed in that this was normal work feedback, and they didn't feel humiliated. Sophia suddenly burst out laughing. I stormed out in a huff. A long time later, they found me in a break room. They were all trying to suppress their laughter, which just made me even more embarrassed. I knew Sophia must have told them what happened. This girl not only had no emotional intelligence, but she also had no shame. I was furious. All 5 of them took turns trying to placate me before I finally agreed to go home with them. That's right, they had bought me a villa in Boston. Both families were in the process of moving their business operations to Boston as well. When we got to the new house, my dad walked in and said, "Look at this little bridge over the stream and this pavilion. You feel it, right?" "Yes, I feel it. I feel a lot," the other 3 adults said in unison. "Ah!" Sophia shrieked and ran into the villa, leaving me alone to twist in the wind. In the following days, I consulted a medical professor at Harvard and learned that my speed was due to anxiety. He said that as I got used to it, it would get better. So, whenever I had free time, I would seek out Sophia to discuss the Tao. She was the winding road that made my path long, wasn't she? So I had to make her road straight. She said she had no feeling, right? Well, I wouldn't stop until she was begging for mercy. In short, we didn't fight anymore. Whenever a problem arose, we discussed the Tao. Later, on a date our families picked out, Sophia and I went and got our marriage license. On graduation day, we had a huge wedding. Not only did leaders from major companies from all over the world come to congratulate us, but even government officials attended. After graduation, Sophia didn't continue her studies. Instead, she focused on managing the company. As for me, of course, I stayed at Harvard to continue my studies and research. The following year, we had a baby, and because I had another nickname, Diligent, Sophia was soon pregnant again. 2 kids in 3 years, standard procedure. As for my Lamborghini, I had it encased in a massive block of resin and preserved it.